I'm David Hathaway, the president of Eurovision Mission to Europe, and the whole of our ministry has been based on working with the suffering church, particularly under communism. And you know that what I was doing and what the churches in Russia were doing was preaching that gospel and bringing believers together. And the importance was that we had what we called an underground church. Why? Because of the persecution, and if the authorities could find us, they would close the church, they would put the people in prison, and they killed tens of thousands of pastors, preachers and priests during that time. Now, I worked with them, and I knew the importance of two things was even in the persecution of communism, we still needed to keep the church together, because it was at that time that we built that strength. And it was through the underground church that the church was kept alive. And the communists believed that if they could close, the communists believed if they could close the churches and punish people that attempted to go to church, they would totally destroy the church. And it makes me wonder sometimes what's in the mind of the government at the moment. But the other side is this: look, I'm old enough that I grew up in London as a boy. And I can remember my father's church was totally destroyed by a bomb. The church that then I was subsequently attended was totally destroyed by a bomb. But we didn't stop going to church. And look, I'm going to suggest to you, which was the worst? I think it was far more dangerous to be in church in the Blitz, in the bombing, than to be in this pandemic, because of the terrible risks every time. Well, I can remember when the first V2, the first rocket bomb, landed in Croydon on a Sunday, and it fell, the first one fell on a church that was full, and the people died. Did we close the churches? No, we went to church all the more. And because of the terrors of the war, what did the king do? 7 times, beginning with the Battle of Britain and then Dunkirk and so on, 7 times the king called the nation to prayer. The churches were full. Why? In order to pray, they went to the church. Because many people don't understand the power of prayer. They went to church. And today, in the midst of this pandemic, we need the church more than any time for encouragement and strength. And I want to challenge the government that if they are not going to allow the churches to open, how do you see the church in the community? How do you see the church in the nation? And I want to challenge you, then call the nation to a day of prayer, and let's demonstrate the power of God. I believe it's so important for the church to be open. Yes, I did read the story of a woman who said that she used to get up and get her family together with a struggle to be in church for 10:30. And she said when the churches were first closed, how easy it was to sit at home in her pajamas, eating breakfast and watch the live stream service. But she suddenly realized that is not the purpose of the church. She said the purpose of the church is to bring the people together. We need to open those churches again. The church must be the very center of Christian life. We need the church. And the Bible speaks of us as a church. And the church, in that sense, is not the building. It is the people together. So what is the church? Is it the monastery? Is it the cathedral? Or is it the people of God? And I want to challenge you.